Hi beautiful people. Today I'm going to show you some of my homeschool hacks that I've picked up in my very short time of homeschooling. So I've been homeschooling for 2 years now, the early years, so we've got kindy in year 1. We're almost through with year 1, so I would say that I'm definitely not an expert in homeschooling as of yet. I'm like whatever the opposite of a veteran is. But I have picked up some little hacks along the way, and I'm going to share some with you today. My top 5.
Number 5.
Saving money by scanning resources you already have. Having multiple kids, I didn't want to have to keep on rebuying the same resources to use again for the next child. So you just got to make sure you have one of these babies, which is a printer scanner. Scan your resource and then print it out. So don't actually write anything in your workbook at all. Just scan pages that need to be scanned, and then your resource stays clean, so then you can scan it again if you need it. So for example, this beautiful free curriculum that I love did cost a lot of ink. So sometimes there are things with handwriting. So instead of filling in this book and then having to reprint it out for the next child, I can just photocopy this page that has the blanks that need to be filled in and then put it away in a folder. So to turn it into a worksheet instead of into a workbook, put it into the folder, and then it's clean for the next child. And then once I'm done with it, I'm done with it with my own children, I can gift it to someone else. Or if it were an expensive curriculum, I could sell it on and get some more money. But I wouldn't do that to this one because this one's free. Best free thing ever. Obviously you wouldn't do it for a workbook that is like every single page needs to be written on. But if you have something that might have like one bit of handwriting a week, which I have a resource like that has one big thing of handwriting a week, copy work, then you want to make sure you just copy that. So an example with an expensive curriculum, which I'm not going to show you what it is just in case they mind. So see these pieces of paper that are sticking out? So those are the sheets that I have photocopied. And then I just pop them on the page where they're up to. And then we fill it in, and then we stick it in the folder. And then the book is clean for the next child, for the next photocopies. And then when all the children are complete, I can sell the curriculum as a second-hand one, and it's nice and clean.
Number 4.
Organization of worksheets. So what I've been using that's been working really well is having 2 separate folders. They're more like envelopes than folders. And one says worksheets, and the other says completed. So I'm sure you can figure that out. That any blank worksheets that haven't been done yet go in one folder. Kind of like your in folder that you'd have in the office. And then your out folder in the office would be the completed. So once it goes into the completed and it gets nice and fat, then you would put it in your folders. My child is begging me for more chocolate. That's just great.
Number 3.
Using pencils in your workbooks as bookmarks. I know that I'm not the most organized person in the world, so having the pencil in the workbook is really helpful for me. You're probably more organized than that. But if you're like me, give it a go. Stick your pencil in your workbook, in all the workbooks. 1 pencil for each workbook. And I also don't recommend having the eraser on the end of the pencil because they're lousy. You need a big one of those big ones. Record keeping for homeschool registration. So when I registered my daughter for homeschooling, the AP, which is like the authorized person to give me the tick of approval for teaching my daughter at home, he suggested that I grab a large diary, as large as you can get, like a page a day, and to halve each page and put one half of the page as what I taught and the other side of the page as what she learned. Because it's very easy to say, oh look at me, I taught her calculus. Go me. But if she didn't learn anything, then it was a fail. So having the taught section and the learned section side by side so you could see if actual learning is taking place, I thought it's pretty genius. So I know some homeschoolers, they have their record keeping of what they were taught, and then they have a separate thing for reflections of how they're going and whatnot. But having them side by side, you're saving time and saving resources. Thanks, AP.
Number 1. Number 1.
My number one. I haven't actually heard this anywhere, so I don't know if I discovered it, but it's worked really well for me, and I have no explanation as to why it works. But when you're homeschooling at home, put your shoes on. Wear your shoes. For whatever reason, when I put my shoes on, more stuff gets done. I'm more productive. I am more in the zone of being a teacher. It's kind of like when if you work outside of the home, you put your shoes on, or your work shoes, whether that be something comfortable to stand in all day, office shoes if you're in the office, work boots if you have to wear work boots, whatever it is, when you put them on your feet, you know that you're ready to go to work. And when you're homeschooling, it's work. As fun as it is work. So putting your shoes on for whatever psychological reason, stuff gets done. That's what I found anyway, and I hope that's helpful for you. So there you have it, my top 5 homeschool hacks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and follow us along on our journey that we're coming up to our re-registration stage. It's our first time, and I'm going to try and document it and show it to you. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. See you next Friday.